YouTube, it's Allie. Today I'm going to be talking about the first universal law. There are 8 universal laws, aka the laws of the universe, which contains principles and concepts that are believed to govern the workings of the universe and our experiences within the universe. And yeah, so if I tried making like a video of all of them, but it was so long because I talked so much and I want to get to each concept. So I'm just gonna do one at a time. So yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more of this type of content. And all of my social media links are down in my description box if you want to check those out to see when I will be posting videos. And I often do polls so that you guys can get to pick and choose what you guys want to see, etc., etc. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy and see you soon. Thank you guys for watching. Bye. So I was planning on making a whole separate video on this, which I will once I introduce like the podcast type episode series thing, but I want you to think of your computer as a brain. I mean your brain as a computer, okay? That is the most important thing in this entire lesson, okay? Now, the 8 universal laws, or the 8 laws of the universe, are a bunch of principles and concepts that are believed to govern the workings of the universe and our experiences within it, not within that, within the universe. Okay? So the first universal law is the law of attraction. This law skyrocketed when New Age of spirituality came back. Okay? And the law of attraction should suggest that like attracts like. This means that our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs have the power to attract our corresponding experiences into our lives. They basically, our thoughts and our emotions and our beliefs create our paradigm. They create our reality, okay? And I'm going to explain how that happens in a second. It stresses the role of positive thinking, visualization, and aligning our energy with our desires. So that's stepping more into the law of manifestation. So you use the law of attraction in order to attract desires. But the law of attraction goes far more deeper, because it's not just about attracting what we desire. It's about setting up how we view our entire reality. And this is because, remember how I said, the most important thing to remember is that our brains are computers and they're programmed a certain way. I don't think I said that last part, but they're programmed a certain way in our early age, right? By our parents, by our guardians, by whoever raised us. They're also shaped by early friendships, teachers. Our beliefs are shaped by our friends. They're shaped by our love experiences, our first everything's kind of, you know? And those experiences cause us to believe something, right? And what we believe generates what we think. And what we think is going to kind of give an indication of how we feel. How we feel is going to directly correlate with how we act. How we act is directly going to show itself in our external world. Because think about it like this. If I was told I was ugly at a young age, right? And then I had no friends growing up and I was a loner. And then my first love experience, I get rejected. And prior to that love experience or whatnot, nobody wanted to hang out with me because I looked a certain way or acted a certain way or whatever it was, right? I'm gonna now think that that rejection is a direct cause of my ugliness or of my faults or of my appearance, or there's something wrong with me. I am now going to believe that I am ugly and there's something wrong with me. Nobody wants me, right? And because of that, I'm going to think that. I'm going to say that to myself every time an experience like that resurfaces itself into my life. Okay? And then I'm going to feel those emotions. Not that you can necessarily feel ugly. Ugly is not a feeling per se, but you can feel like unworthy. You can feel insecure. You can feel small. You can feel like you're not like valuable. You can feel, I guess you can feel ugly, because there's been days where I'm like, I just feel like gross. I feel ugly. Like I just feel, but those emotions then trigger emotional responses. And what are those emotional responses? They're crying, they're shutting down, they're not really wanting to engage with other people out of fear of rejection. So now we have a new thing that we're scared of. And so those emotional responses are actually our actions, and how we carry ourselves. And it has a direct correlation with our auric field, our energetic field. So when we go out into this world and we're trying to, let's say you are a lawyer working in a firm and you have a dream to get to the top, right? That belief that you are unworthy, that belief that you are undeserving, every time you don't get promoted and someone else does, or every time you get rejected and all of this stuff, because it will constantly keep reappearing in your life until it's healed and that belief is changed, or until you're no longer bothered by that belief. That's gonna keep coming into your life, because our beliefs are everything. And because of the way that we act and our emotional responses cause us to act, it literally sets the stage for our surroundings. Now we don't have a promotion. Now we're sad about not having that promotion. Now we view people as evil. Now we blame people and we blame things in our past, and we try to point a finger, and we don't see everything. We see everything like the world's out to get us. So that's why beliefs and changing those beliefs are important. And you can do this through cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT therapy, but I feel like that's just saying therapy twice. CBT therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, which is changing the core beliefs. It's the most effective form of therapy, honestly, because the truth is, and a lot of people don't like to hear this, is that we are not responsible for how our brain was programmed. We were young. We didn't understand. We didn't know. But as we get older, as we start to understand that these beliefs are limiting us, and we have access to information to change these limiting beliefs and are not acting on it, that's on us. So how your brain was programmed, that's not on you. But the way you act as a result of that programming once you're an adult is on you. And how you choose to change it or not change it is on you. It's part of the journey of the world, of your life. And a lot of people don't do this. They don't do this. They stay stubborn for a long time, and they do not change anything about themselves. All right? So how do we apply the law of attraction into our lives so that we attract a better paradigm and we live in a better paradigm and our reality is different? Okay? We do this by practicing positive thinking. We do this by focusing on our intended desires and not hyperfixating, not obsessing, but also, like, you focus on your desire. Like, if my desire is to, for example, I'll apply it to this YouTube channel, right? If my desire is to attract more subscribers, I have to figure out the why. Why do I want more subscribers? Is it because I want to make this my full-time job? No. Is it because I want more money? Yeah. Is it because I want to educate people and I'm passionate about this stuff? Yes. So when I lose focus of that why, I lose passion and I lose drive. When I start focusing on money and start focusing on the analytics of the money coming in or the subscribers coming in, I lose myself. I lose myself, and I do not, they don't even come in. They drop. But I also realize, like, I take a step back and I'm like, whoa, this isn't even everything I want to do with my life. Like, I'm focusing everything into one thing, and this isn't even what I want to do with my whole life. Like, I don't want to do YouTube and film for my, like, that's not what I want for my career. Like, I want to do all of these different things, you know, and I'm like so focused on making this like the main thing. It's like, no, like, what are you doing? Like, take a step back, remember the why. Remember the why. Why do you want to change your paradigm or the reality you live in? Why do you want that desire? Why? And be honest with yourself. Don't be superficial about it. And being unhappy is a more than perfectly good explanation to why you would want to change your reality. But you have to be a little bit more specific. Like, I'm dying over here. You have to be a little bit more specific. Like, I want to attract this into my life, and I want my paradigm to look like this because I am unhappy because of this. You know, the second you start focusing so much more on materialistic gain, that's when you lose yourself. And that's when it doesn't work. A lot of people think that the law of attraction and manifestation just works because you just think about what you want and you let it go. Bitch, please, bro. There's also work you gotta do. And you gotta do it every single day. You gotta change the belief system that you have. And that takes a lot of work with affirmations, positive thinking, getting to the root cause of what caused that belief, you know? And thinking about, how am I gonna change it? How am I gonna change this belief? You know, what is the schedule I'm going to practice on changing this belief? Because obviously it is limiting me. So you can use affirmations and positive statements to reprogram your brain and beliefs and expectations. Oh, expectations are the worst. You know, there's this saying that it's like, we expect the worst, but we hope for the best. Expect nothing. You deserve nothing in this world. You are entitled to nothing. Nothing. So you have to stop with the expectations. You have to stop with the hyperfixating. You have to stop with the hyperfocusing. You have to stop with the just writing down what you want and then like forgetting about it. And then being like, oh, it doesn't work. And then you gotta stop. Like, I get so upset at like spiritualists on YouTube that do that shit, man. They talk about the law of attraction as if they actually fucking did anything. No, they freaking Google some shit and they teach it and then they make money off of it by freaking scamming y'all. I hate that. Oof, gets under my skin. Anyways, so another way that you can apply it into your life is to focus on the abundance that you have rather than what you lack. And by doing this, I would focus more so on, okay, like comparing yourself to others is not good. Like, essentially, it's not good. Like, being like, oh, at least my life's not like this. And I have a tendency to do that. Like, I have a tendency to be like, oh, it could be worse. Like, if something bad happens, like, I'm like, it could be worse. At least it's not like this, you know? But, and yeah, like, that helps, but not, like, forever. Because, like, I'm still, like, obviously bothered by that. So what does help is focusing on the abundance that I have now that I didn't have, and not the materialistic abundance, but more of the spiritual abundance and the wisdom and the knowledge. And yeah, material, but not material in the sense of like, oh, I have new clothes and I have like new shoes and I have more money now and I have this job. I'm focusing more on like, I have a roof over my head at the end of the day. I have access to water. I have access to clean food, clean water. I have access to food. I have access to toilet paper. I have access to, you know, I have the ability to apply for a job. Even though I don't like this one, I can, if I want to, I can leave it. And I can apply to a new one. You know, and it's like focusing on these small things that nobody seems to really pay attention to. You know, they say, I'm grateful for this, or I'm grateful for my daughter or my kids. It's like, be grateful for your health. Be grateful for your mind. Be grateful for your access to this, like, to this video, to other videos, you know? Be grateful for the knowledge you have attained through the lessons that the universe has given you. You know? That puts you more in the now. And it focuses more on you. And it focuses more on the changes that you've made as a person. And those things are important. Because if not, if you don't focus on the changes that you've made and the growth that you've made as a person, even just one thing, then you slip back into a negative belief pattern, a negative thought pattern, then negative emotions, then negative actions. And then we get into that victim complex of it's like, oh, I have a chemical imbalance in my brain. Newsflash, there's no way to test if you have a chemical imbalance in your brain. There is a way to test and see what hormones are lighting up inside your brain, but there's no way to tell exactly why it's not necessarily lighting up, other than the fact that this hormone's not being released, because we know that these hormones are associated with thoughts of this, and we know that these hormones are associated with feelings of this. They're all associated with thoughts and feelings and beliefs. All of the hormones that light up in your brain, the happy hormones, they're all associated with your belief pattern. And that goes for people that have, what I call it is, what's it called? Situational depression, situational anxiety, because I realized that in those moments I've kind of accidentally put myself there in the way I was thinking, and like I fell back into these old patterns, these old habits, and I used to think that I was like bipolar for the longest time, or I had BPD or something like that, and I realized that I never really took the time out to do the actual work and to like reflect inside. And sometimes introspection can be too much, to a point where it's like criticizing every little thing about yourself. But sometimes it helps you realize that, like, hey, I can fix this. And I've like put myself in this situation. So accountability is extremely important, and realizing that there's things that you can change and things that you cannot change. Learning to accept the things that you cannot change is a great way to start, and that's with starting how other people feel about you, starting at where you are in your job, in your love life, just accepting it as it is, because you know what, you can't change it, and stressing about it and going over it and ruminating over it, it gets you absolutely nowhere. Nowhere. And applying these things into your life, like even rituals, and doing it on a daily basis really helps you get out of it. Because without doing it consistently, then there's no point in doing it whatsoever. So that is the first universal law, the law of attraction.